Isn't it amazing how what we think affects our emotions and our lives? Thoughts can be pleasing or they can be tormenting. Thought life needs to be cultivated and then it should be maintained, because if it is not, it will become a breeding ground for thoughts that will lead to strongholds in your life. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 5 tells us to bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. The Bible also tells us things on which to think. Think, the word means to meditate upon, to reflect, to consider. Philippians chapter 4 verse 8 gives us a guide for our thinking. It says we should meditate upon, reflect on, consider, think on these things. Then it lists the things. Think on what is true, all that is in harmony with eternal truth, truth about God, His promises, and His statements. Think on what is honest, in other words, what is decent, honorable, and reputable. This has reference to what is regarded as worthy of reputation or honor. Think on what is just, that which is right, impartial, true, and accurate. Think on what is pure, which means chaste and holy for body and soul. Think on what is lovely, meaning pleasing and what tends to bless others, what is dear to someone. Christians should be the most lovely, kind, and complimentary people around. Then it says to think on what is of good report. There's plenty of bad news. Let's spend more time on the things of good report, the good news. In conclusion, that verse says, if there be any virtue, excellence, if there be any praise, anything worthy of praise, think, consider, dwell, meditate, reflect on these things. Let me paraphrase this last statement using the definitions of virtue, any praise, and think. If there be any excellence, and if there be anything worthy of praise, consider, dwell, meditate, reflect on these things. Let's all work on bringing our thinking into alignment with what God tells us to think. Be blessed and keep close to Jesus.